Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our HWDSB eLearning Information Night. Welcome this evening as we get started with our presentation. Next slide, please. I'd like to begin with our land acknowledgement. The Hamilton-Wentworth District School Board acknowledges our presence on ancestral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee Confederacy land as determined by the Dish with One Spoon Treaty. The intent of this agreement is for all nations sharing this territory to do so responsibly, respectfully, and sustainably in perpetuity. And we respect the long-standing relationships with the local Indigenous communities, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and the Six Nations of the Grand River. I'd like to thank everybody for coming this evening and spending your time as we help you get started with semester 2 for e-learning courses. So we appreciate you spending your time with us this evening. Just like to give an overview of the agenda and some introductions. So we will move into introductions shortly, and then I will introduce myself, the broader e-learning team. We'll give you an overview of e-learning programming, some specifics about how to get started with your course, and then some time for question and answers. So I am Simon Goodacre. I'm System Principal for Learning Services with the Hamilton-Wentworth District School Board. And I have responsibility for the e-learning program, and Bill Torrens is our superintendent of program, and unfortunately can't able to join us this evening, but does bring his well wishes. Our e-learning team with Bill as the superintendent, myself as the overseeing principal. We have Michelle Pollington, who is our e-learning registrar and blended learning support. We have Jeff Allison, who is our K-12 program consultant, and Lou Angel, who is our e-learning special assignment teacher. And tonight with us, we also have some e-teachers. We have Trevor Pratt and Tanya McKay. So thank you for them for joining us tonight. Some of you have been in e-learning a few times already in your high school career, and you will know Mr. Allison, and tonight we have, we wish him well as he starts his new position as a vice principal with the Grand Erie School Board. And so we say thank you and good luck to Mr. Allison as he starts some new journeys. He's been a crucial support in growing the e-learning program within our board and supporting many of you in your courses. So thank you to Mr. Allison as he starts his new adventures. So tonight, I'd like to, I had mentioned Michelle Pollington, our e-learning registrar, and Lou Angel, our e-learning special assignment teacher, and Lou will be the one taking you through the majority of our presentation tonight, and we have a number of the people working in the background tonight as a team to answer your questions that you can submit through the event question and answer chat. We can answer those questions directly, and if your question is representative of a common question, we might publish it out for others to see as well. Others might be answered privately. So I will, at this point, turn it over to Lou.
Thank you, Simon. Okay, so our first topic to cover is the e-learning overview. So basically, you've signed up for e-learning and you don't really understand what that means. It is a credit just like any other high school credit. In the same ways, there's a commitment of time like other courses. Our courses are running over a semester or a term if you are enrolled in the civics and careers classes. Those civics and careers will switch over at midterm from one course to the other. There is a living, breathing teacher supporting you. There's a real person at the end of all of those bits and bytes that you are sending. So just keep that in mind when you're corresponding with your teacher. And there's also living, breathing classmates that you can connect with, and your teacher will set up various ways for you to do that, whether it be through discussions or through group work, that sort of thing. Okay. How it differs, the exceptions, is that there's flexibility in terms of when you work on your course. In your in-person course, you know, if your course starts at 8:25, you're expected to be there in the door at 8:25. With e-learning, the expectations are slightly different. You still should be working on it daily. We're going to get a little bit more into that with the logging in, but there is flexibility of when you can sort of quote unquote attend your course. Okay, and the great thing is that you can learn and develop new skills. So how does e-learning set students up for future success? Well, it sets you up with 21st century competencies. They're transferable skills. 1/3 of Ontario universities use the exact same platform. It's known by different names. We call it the Hub. It's also known as D2L or Brightspace, but they're all the same platform. And about half of Ontario colleges also use the exact same platform. This is just an overview of sort of where we've been, just a snapshot really. It only goes back 4 years, but we've been, the HWDSB has been involved with teaching e-learning for about 15 years. So this again is just a snapshot of where we've come from. If you look back down to the 2018-2019 school year, we had about 2,600 students taking e-learning, and then now with this semester we're looking at about 8,845 students taking e-learning. We offer about 305 courses just through HWDSB, and there's been a significant number of courses added to accommodate the full remote enrollment and the increase in e-learning requests. Mostly, or the full remote, mostly due to COVID, and so that has increased our enrollment quite a bit as well. Some new courses you can see there. This year we've got the AWQ, the 1.0 and 2.0, AWS 3M, AWU 4M, and the list is just way too long for me to read through all of those codes, which you probably don't really understand what they mean anyways, unless you're in one of them. But you can see there's just so many new courses, and new ones keep getting added every year. So how do you take e-learning? Well, you already know because you're here, but if you're thinking about continuing with e-learning for next year, option sheets are coming out now, so you're going to have to start making those plans for next year. So you select it on your option sheet. You see Student Services Department at your school. So it's your guidance counselor that's going to make the registration and the arrangements for you. And if you're interested in a course that we don't have at HWDSB, it still, just because we're not offering it doesn't mean that it's not offered. Your guidance counselor can take a look to see if other boards are offering it. So we do have access to other school boards, and there's over 100 different courses available. Okay. So now that you are registered in the course, we're going to fast forward to actually attending and finding where you need to go for your work. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to log into the Hub. The Hub will bring you to your school's homepage. So you can see on the pictures here, it shows it as Ancaster. If I were a student at Ancaster High School, my homepage looks like this. Because I've logged into the Hub, it's like I've shown up to the school building, but I haven't actually attended class yet. So the first part is logging into the Hub, and I see my school homepage. Now I need to find my actual classroom. It's like I'm walking around with a chart. There's two ways of finding it. One is with these little windows that are called widgets. You're looking for the one that says My Courses. And if you're taking more than one course, then you're going to see them listed there. The other way that you can find your course is up in the top hand. You can see this square, which has 9 little squares inside of it. We call it the waffle. So when you click on that, you'll see a list underneath it of all the courses that you are registered in. And you can actually use this little pin over on the right hand side, and if you click it, it fills it in, and those ones will stay at the top of your list. So, you know, grade 9, you probably don't have a lot of courses in there yet, but if you're a grade 12 student and you've taken a lot of courses, you're going to have a long list in there. So it's always good to give it a little pin up there so it's easy to find. For out of board, so just going back a second to the last one, that would have been you're an HWDSB student and you're taking an HWDSB course. The way that you find your course, if you are taking an out-of-board course, so you are an HWDSB student taking an out-of-board course, or you are an out-of-board student taking an HWDSB course, you are looking for a different entrance into your course. It's still on your school homepage, but you're going to look for the waffle that says other courses, or it might say other courses or other orgs. But you're going to see your list of classes in there. Okay, so again, if you're taking an out-of-board course, or if you're an out-of-board student taking HWDSB, you want to look for that different widget that says other courses or other orgs. Okay. So once you get into your class, now it's like you've stepped into your classroom and your teacher can see that you're actually present. There's a couple ways of that your teacher is going to communicate to you. They may use in their home page. So you can see here in this picture, we've logged into media studies, and this is the actual course. So we've walked into the classroom and we want to see what the teacher is saying. There's 2 ways of doing that. We want to look at the activity feed, or we want to look at the announcements. Now your teacher may have a little bit different setup. So their class homepage, just like your English class when you walk in is set up differently than your science class when you walk in, or your gym class when you walk in. It may look different when you enter into or log into your actual course as well. But some of the widgets are going to be the same, maybe just in a different position on the homepage. Some teachers also set things up differently. I know when I teach, I don't use the activity feed, but I do use the announcements. And other teachers may use the activity feed and not the announcements, or a teacher may use both. And there's all sorts of different information on this homepage that's going to be important that we're going to get to in a second too. Okay, so similar to a teacher talking to their students at the beginning of the period, that's what this is. It's important information, and you can go back and you can check it at any time. So if there is a note there that you forgot to look at, you can always go back to your course home. That's up on the nav bar here. That's the little house with the book as doors. That's going to bring you back to this course homepage. Okay. The next piece of information, again, usually on that home page, is your e-learning calendar. There's going to be important dates listed here. You can see on this one, there's an icon of a star. Down here, there's a cupcake, which means that there's somebody's birthday. It could be another icon for a discussion that's due or an assignment that's due. You can also click on this and a larger version of the calendar will open up. Okay, so the important dates are listed. You need to follow them. The pace of the course is set by your teacher to ensure success and that you stay up to date. If you're taking an HWDSB course and you are from another school board, you need to meet the HWDSB timelines. So again, we are running on a semester and your course is going to be paced out over the semester. If you are in a school board, so an out of school student, and you are in a quadmester, your timelines for your school, for your courses, is going to be slightly different. If that happens, you need to reach out to your teacher and you need to talk to them and your guidance counselor and see what can be done so that you can be successful. or what your options are. Okay, if you're taking a course with another school board, you need to meet their timelines. So vice versa, if we are in a semester and you are enrolled in a course that's offered with another school board that's in a quadmester, again, you need to meet their timelines. So if you're not able to do that, you need to talk to your guidance counselor. Plan ahead, ask your teacher questions, and make sure that you're asking for help. Just like in a face-to-face class, you need to ask for that help before the due dates, not 5 minutes before you're supposed to hand something in. The orientation you're going to get to the content. There's a couple ways of getting to the actual content. So the content is the lessons that your teacher puts together so that you can read through them. They're going to lead to assignments, discussions, possible portfolio items, anything you need to complete the course, you're going to find inside of this content. This is, like it says, the majority of work is done here. Here's just a couple screenshots to show you what it may look like. So this is one of my courses, and again, up here on the nav bar, you can see this icon that says content. If you click that, then it's going to open up in one of two ways. It all depends on how your teacher has the course set up. So this first one, it's going to look a little bit more like just simple folders. This is the original look in D2L or in the hub. And then this one over here, you can see that those folders are more color coordinated, and when you click on them, on the content, it's then going to open up and give you a little preview of where you're going to over on the right hand side, whereas this one you have to actually click on these blue links here to then open up the content page. Okay, so those are the two versions of what it's going to look like. You've got the original look, and then you've got the new look, and you can tell the difference by how the table of contents looks over on the left hand side. Okay, one is color coded and the other one is just sort of your straight list of table of contents. So general tips for success. Logging in, very important. Expectations is to log in daily and for the same amount of time as an in-person class. So you're scheduled for 75 minutes. The teacher is going to, again, pace your course to release content or to give lessons that it's going to fit 75 minutes, a combination of lesson and time for you to work on assignments or discussions and things like that. So if you can imagine, with your flexibility of participation or logging in, things can pile up on you. If you're waiting to log in just on Fridays at the end of the week and thinking you're going to be able to catch up on the entire week, you're going to have to do a lot of work on that one day to meet all those expectations. And you also may miss some due dates. So logging in every day is recommended. Even if you can't spend the same amount of time because you have a competition or something like that, you still should be checking those announcements, making sure you're staying up to date with your due dates. Participate. So there's a couple ways, like I explained earlier about participation. There may be discussions, there may be group work. Sometimes in that activity feed, if your teacher uses that, sometimes there's a comment section where you're able to ask questions right there on that home page of your class. Ask questions. There's also an FAQ, so frequently asked questions section in your course that you could take a look at. There may be a chat room, and then of course email your teacher. They are your go-to person. They know the content of your course. They know the lessons that you're talking about, and they're going to be your best help for making you successful. Okay, and then the last thing would be limit your distractions. So find a location that's not busy, where you can focus on your coursework, and you're not focusing on your surroundings or people walking by and things like that. Keep in mind that there may be videos that you have to listen to, so having some headphones or earbuds or something like that to plug in and that work with your device is also helpful. You never know when one of those videos is going to pop up and you need to listen to it. And if you're in the middle of the cafeteria or something, then it could be problematic. So definitely keep that in mind. If you're overwhelmed, don't be. It's okay. We have a huge team to support you. There is an online orientation module, so you should work your way through that. Some of your teachers may make it mandatory, so there might be something in that orientation that you actually have to do to open up the course content. Just be thorough, make sure you're going through every page and reading it. There's an orientation quiz, there's a discussion, there's a checklist to do. They're not difficult. Really, the orientation won't take long, maybe half an hour, all said and done, okay? So make your way through that. And again, some of your content may be linked to you achieving certain goals and clicking certain things off in that orientation module to open up the content, okay? Next is course content. So tomorrow, February 3rd or earlier, if your teacher has made your course active already, you may be able to get in there and have a little look-see already. And you want to connect with your teacher for course help. In the orientation module, again, it has you email your teacher. So you want to make sure that you're saving that and you're able to communicate back and forth. And you also have your homeschool supports. Don't forget that you are a student at your school and there are people there to help you as well. So you've got your e-learning teacher that you can always reach out to, but you also have your guidance counselors at your school, you have your learning resource teachers at your school, and you have student success teachers at your school. And then our team, so who do you come to for your questions? Who answers what questions? For your account, login, password, and registration issues, that's Michelle Pollington. For your course questions, again, it's your teacher. I can't stress that enough. And then questions your teacher can't answer or general e-learning questions, that would be me, Lou Angel. And if you need help connecting with the school board where you're taking your e-learning course, that's again going to be either Michelle or myself. And I believe that's it. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. I think we're just handling questions.
Yeah, there are a number of questions that have come through in the Q&A, so please keep them coming. We're answering them as we can. Okay. And one of the bigger questions.
Anything that I can go over again?
Yeah, one of the bigger questions is a number of people are looking for their courses now, but they don't actually open up until tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, all those classes will be available.
Yeah.
Lou, I did have a question. Someone is looking at the weather and I thought others might be interested around if it is a snow day tomorrow. If it is a snow day and schools are canceled, all remote and e-learning is also canceled. So there would be no obligation to log in. So for those of you watching the weather, just to clarify. But if that happens while a course is running, work is always available if students want to log in to catch up, but they're under no obligation to do so.
And for those of you from other school boards, it's dependent on the school board that's offering the course. So if our school board has a snow day, then our courses would be in that situation. But if you're from our board, like HWDSB, and you're taking a course elsewhere, and that board is not having a snow day, those courses could still be open.
A number of questions around specific course registration questions and desires to change it. So as Lou mentioned, your school is still your main source of contact. So just as if you were changing an in-person course, your school guidance counselor is your same contact for e-learning courses. So if you do need to make a schedule change, please arrange to see your school guidance counselor. I see a number of questions around EQAO math. I think we have a number of our grade 9 Reach Ahead students or their parents online tonight. Currently with COVID and public health, EQAO math has changed frequently this year, but currently the guidance from the ministry is that EQAO math for grade 9 is required for in-person attendance only. So currently that is the guidance from the ministry that EQAO math would be for in-person attendance only. If there is a change to that, that would be communicated out from your course. It has been a couple years where things have changed frequently, but that is our current guidance.
And I just saw one of the questions there about end of the semester. Everything, all our dates, the holidays, PD days, etc., are going to be the same as the in-person schedule calendar. If you are taking a course and you are from another board and our calendar is different, the HWDSB is different than your board, just reach out to your teacher and make sure that you're connected and you let them know that you will be there or not be there. Same with if you're going to be away for an extended period of time, even like 2 days at the end of a week, etc. It's always nice just to, send an email out to your teacher and let them know the reason why you're not going to be there.
I see a number of questions about the end of semester and exams. So e-learning courses, just like in-person courses, will have a variety of final assessments. Most e-learning courses will have assessments that are culminating activities that you would complete online as well. E-learning courses will follow the assessment policy of the school and the board that is hosting them. For HWDSB courses, schools currently, even in-person courses, some grade 12 courses will have a final exam, but that will be a decision of the school, and e-learning courses will generally follow that process. There is methods for us to do exams if needed. However, during COVID, most e-learning courses have had all online assessments and final evaluations. So COVID has changed things just a little bit, but normally you would follow similar processes to your schools, and that would be communicated through your individual classes as well. Just the same if you are taking a course with another school board, that board and that school would have policies around final exams as well. And I also see, Lou, a number of questions regarding live sessions. So the e-learning courses are courses that are taught through the hub, where the primary method is through the posting of work to discussion boards, the submission of assignments, and also you have connection to your teacher through email. You may make a time to arrange to talk to your teacher because they will be maybe teaching at a different time than you, and other students may have that course scheduled into a different part of their timetable. So on a daily basis, there is no live instructional sessions, but there is a teacher there every day interacting with you through some different methods, but no live video sessions on a daily basis.
And more teachers are offering drop-in sessions, and they will communicate that with you when they're offering that. But again, like Simon was explaining, your teacher may have it scheduled in their timetable at a different time than you. But I do know more and more teachers are offering those drop-in sessions where you can just pop in and ask a question that's a lot less formal. So you can look for that too. Connecting with your teacher, you should be using your HWDSB e-learning or email that was sent to you. So the login information and everything would have been sent to you in an email when you got confirmation of your registration into your course. So look back through your email for that. Connecting and communicating with your teacher using the HWDSB email that you received is the best way that you're going to make sure that you're going to get the answers to your questions. And they also you have to use your HWDSB account because the teacher needs to know that they are talking with the actual student that they should be talking to. As far as the waiting list, unfortunately, we are really, all of our courses are packed pretty solid. There is some transition that happens within the first week. Some people change their mind about a course, or they, for whatever reason, and it does make room depending on where you are in the wait list. The best thing that we can recommend is just, sit tight on the wait list, and you should know within a week whether or not you're going to be getting in there, usually about a week. Go over the access to your course again. Sure, let me go back to okay, so HWDSB, if you're logged into D2L, then you're going to log in and you're going to see your school homepage. So this is like you've walked into the school building, but you haven't actually gone to class yet. So there's two ways of actually getting to class. One is you're looking for this widget that says My Courses. So if you are an HWDSB student taking an HWDSB e-learning course, this is where you're going to find it, in the My Courses widget, and you'll see your course there. Or you can, at the very, very top, very small nav bar, you see this little 9 square waffle, we call it, and you can click on there. When you click on it, it's going to open up the courses that you're registered in and find the one that you need to attend and click on it, and then it's going to bring you into your course. If you are an out-of-board student, on that same school homepage, you're going to be looking for a different widget that says Other Courses or Courses in Other Orgs, and your course will be listed under there. As far
Do
as
you just want to explain the flexibility of being able to access the class at any point?
Yeah. As far as attending your course, you're not, well, you may be scheduled in period 2, your teacher may have it scheduled in period 4. So there's not that, as Simon was saying before, that synchronous time where you can meet together and the teacher's not going to teach a live lesson to you. So it gives you the flexibility because all your lessons are built into the hub. It gives you the flexibility to attend your course when it's most convenient to you. If you can find, if you're scheduled, say in period 2, and you can find somewhere at school that you can work or quietly and make sure that you can focus on your course, then you can work on it during period 2. But if you find it's easier to get your math homework done, etc., during that time, and you want to do your e-learning at night, you can do that as well. As long as you're logging in during the week, you're going to be marked as present, and that's good. You won't be removed from the course for not attending. However, as I was explaining before, the coursework will pile up if you're only logging in once a week. So you should be logging in once a day, but no one's tracking what time you work at or a specific time that you log in, anything like that. So there's the flexibility. And it also, you don't have to be at your school to do it. As long as you have reliable Wi-Fi, you can log into your course anywhere, wherever you're comfortable to work on it. I think I got it, Al. Did I miss anything there, Jeff?
Nope, you're good.
Yep, and I just saw from Liam there, can I spend my 75 minutes on the hub after 4 p.m. because I work full time? That's why you're doing e-learning? Absolutely. Again, you can make the course schedule work with your schedule. So if you're going to work on your course at night, that's absolutely fine. I recommend that you're logging in at least once a day just to, check your due dates, check the announcements for that day, see if anything changed, and just making sure you're not falling behind. But as far as when you work on your course, that's going to be up to you.
Well, Lou, our rate of questions definitely seems to be slowing. So I think at this point, what we can do is just say to people, we will have leave the questions open for about 5 more minutes. We will continue to try to answer some questions. However, we will go off video here for you, and we will go off mics, but we will be available to answer questions in the chat. But in 5 minutes, we will turn the chat off. And just a reminder for anybody, this link that you used to access the video recording will be available at the same link through Teams Player. It actually is available immediately after this session. So you can click on the same link to access the video if you missed something. But we will keep the question and answers open for another 5 minutes. The number of questions seems to be reducing. I'd like to thank you and the eLearning team, and I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. So have a good evening, everyone, and take care.
Thank you.